Silvia, just tell us what you're seeing there. Paint a picture.
Loads happening here on the ground, Jeff, but let me start with just a brief geographical context. We are at the Tapa military base. This is in the eastern part of Estonia, and we're roughly 70 miles away from the Russian border. But indeed, let me show you some of the equipment and the troops that are based here at Tapa. You can see behind me some of the French mountaineering troops. You can see that they have a different uniform from the other soldiers that are based here in Tapa. Up next, you can see a group of Danish soldiers that are also present here at Tapa. There's roughly about 200 of them here as well. And then let me show you the group of engineers. Now, this is a very important one. And just look at the size of those pipelines. I mean, this is incredible. One of the soldiers was explaining to me that essentially this is used to build pathways for tanks to drive over when they are, for instance, in places where it's really difficult for the tanks to actually drive through. So that will help them in that regard. And then here we have essentially what is described as a bigger version of a tank. Now, this vehicle takes up to 10 soldiers during wartime. And in order for the weapon to actually be used, this vehicle actually needs to be parked. So that is one of the characteristics that make up this vehicle. And then I want to show you the 3 tanks from the UK battle group that are also here stationed at Tapa. And actually, I have to say that I was inside one of them yesterday. And there's a very interesting detail about these British tanks. Inside them, there is a kettle, so the soldiers can actually make their tea. So I'll let you think about that one as well. And then finally, there's also some other equipment, including these javelins that are currently used in Ukraine to stop tanks. Now, you see a lot of background music because later today there will be a ceremony here, so the Royal Welsh Regiment officially takes over as the leading group of the NATO battle group that is based here in Tapa. And yesterday I actually caught up with the French commander of the troops here at Tapa, and this is what he had to say about their mission here.
Our mission here is to protect the population, is to defend, and it's to be ready for any aggression. That is the role of the soldiers here, to be ready as always, to be deter, and also to be sure that everything is okay about the defense of Estonia. And also, I think for the Estonian people, it's good to know that there is a lot of NATO soldiers in their country.
So plenty of activity here on the ground, guys. We'll be bringing you some exclusive interviews later on today, and all of it to show you indeed how NATO has been stepping up its presence in this part of Europe.